welcome. Thank you for joining the program. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Wherever you're joining from, I appreciate you.
Bluetooth mode.
Welcome, like and share. Click like on the program, like the program and share it. Like the broadcast and share the broadcast.
Not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children, the Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isodo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. I had in Sosine Bige. He said,
He say, I welcome you all to this very program today. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this very program, wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining us from Biafra land, my special thanks goes to you. I pray that Chukwu Okike will guide you, protect you, and keep you safe wherever you are. If you are joining us from any part of the world, you are joining us from any part of the zoo, you're joining from any part of Africa, Europe, America, Australia, New Zealand, you're joining from any part of the world, from Russia, from China, I appreciate you and I welcome you to this very program. Please, as you join this very platform, kindly like and share. Like and share the program as you join. Like and share the program on your own platform. Share to family and friends. Share the program to anybody that's connected to you. That is the only way we can push this message across. You know that they are trying to stop us from preaching this gospel. They are trying to stop us from reaching those we are supposed to reach. They are trying to discourage us from getting across the message. We will not stop. And it is your effort and your support that will make us not to stop. So kindly like and share. Once again, in this very platform, as you all know, this is a platform that is under the Biafra Republic government in exile. This platform is under the supervision of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the supreme leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where we stand. In this platform, we don't preach hate. We don't preach violence. We do not instigate violence. What we do here is that we encourage Biafrans. We encourage Biafrans to do that which is right. We encourage Biafrans to pursue their legitimate right and never give up those rights. We come here to debunk every lie against the Biafran people. Every lie against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Every lie against our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We come here to shred those lies into pieces. In this very platform, what we do here is to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. We don't try to be politically correct. We say it exactly the way it is. If you are a lover of the truth, you are going to enjoy your stay here. But if you don't love the truth, if you have the patience to stay longer, you will begin to love the truth. Our most aim and objective here is to encourage Biafrans, wake up the consciousness of Biafran people, and to let them know that they must hold their right very, very tight. And those rights we are encouraging to hold on to is the right to self-determination. You must not allow anybody to take that right from you. The right to self-determination. International law supports it. African law supports it. Nigerian law itself supports self-determination. People have the right to decide where they belong. People have the right to decide who to associate with and who not to associate with. This is a right that we must not allow anybody to take away from us. That is what we preach here, to remind the Biafrans about that right. Another right that is very vital to the survival of the Biafran people is the right of self-defense. The right to self-defense also is an international right that belongs to every one of us. International law supports it, African law supports it, Nigerian law itself supports self-defense because they preach it themselves. We're here to encourage Biafran people to say, you must stand up and take up your right of self-defense now, not tomorrow. You must pick up your right to self-defense now. Another right that we have to talk about here is the right to life. Every single one of us as Biafrans, we have the right to live. Chukwu Okike, who allowed us to come into this planet Earth and gave us that freedom to explore, to follow whatever career we want to follow, to grow in our own speed, gave us that right to life, you must not allow anybody to take away that right to life from you. Not a government, not a man or woman, not anybody. Nobody has the right to take away the right to life from you. But today, in the contraption called Nigeria, they are forcing Biafrans to believe that they must have to take permission for some people for them to leave. They are trying to show us that in the Zuluka Republic that you must abide by certain rules and regulations. You must obey certain people before you can be able to have right to live, which is a lie. The right to life is your own legitimate right, and you must not give it out to anybody. That is why we are here today, reminding you of those rights. Today being Monday, Mazen Nandekano days. And before we proceed, I welcome you and tell you, happy sit at home. Happy sit at home, wherever you are watching from, across the world. I say happy sit at home. Today is Monday, a day that we set aside. A day that we set aside for Mazen Nandekano and every other prisoner that is in the hand of the criminals. Monday is a day that Biafran people collectively have chosen and said that this day we are going to observe a total lockdown, sit at home. And from that moment we made that agreement, from the Kingdom of Mazen Nandekano we made that agreement up to this day, Biafrans has continued to maintain that sit at home. Biafrans have remained consistent in the Monday sit at home. With all the blackmail propaganda coming from right, left, and center. They have fought it in their media, they fought with every arsenal they have. They couldn't succeed. Today, being Monday, Biafra land is under lock and key. This is a day that the world look upon Biafrans to know if we are really serious to get out of Nigeria. This is a day that the world will see as a referendum of the Biafran people to walk away from the zoo. This is a day that collectively Biafran people are making their voice sound very, very loud. The deaf can hear them. The blind can see them. You can no longer pretend about the plight of the Biafran people. That is why we are holding strong on sit at home, and Biafrans are holding sit at home very, very tight. Today, you go to their media, they are pushing this propaganda of sit at home as if it is about Master Simon Ekpa. Master Simon Ekpa is the Prime Minister and the spokesperson of Biafra people. Biafra people make that agreement to choose Monday as a day that they will air their opinion to the world, a day that they will make the world hear their voice. It is a collective agreement of the Biafran people. Our Prime Minister, is just a spokesperson who was told to speak about this and push it out to the world so that they will hear us. But today, you see the narrative they create in the Zuluka Republic. They always create their own illusions. They will be living in their own dreams, and they will try to force that illusion into people by making people believe that sit at home is forced by people. That this Master Simon Ekpa has imposed sit at home on the Biafran people. That Master Simon Ekpa is enforcing sit at home in one way or the other, which is a line from the pit of hell. They have tried every means to manipulate the sit at home. They have tried every means, including taking life of innocent people, in order to make sure that they destroy the sit at home. They have tried different strategies to blackmail the sit at home. A lot of innocent life have lost, but they didn't succeed. Some of them, they go and generate lies and begin to push lies and say, Master Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra program, they are killing Biafra people. How? Where? How can somebody that tells you to sit at home be the one to take your life? Sit at home. When you are sitting in your home, nobody will come after you. When you are sitting at home, no military, no bullet is going to come to your home and kill you. But what we have seen time and time again is these same people who are fighting against sit at home, discouraging some certain group of people who fall victim and pray to them. And when they force those ones to come out, they will now go and attack them and then use them as a propaganda against that which was meant for the good of the people. This is not a difficult strategy. We have seen it time and time again. We have seen them play this game time and time again. And don't you ask yourself, why is it that all of a sudden, recently, have you ever had or seen anybody enforcing sit at home or people losing their life? Since all this while that Biafrans are sitting at home diligently, did you see anybody losing his life? Nobody lost his life. Because they have tried and tried and tried, and they saw that Biafrans are formidable. That Biafrans are consistent, and Biafrans cannot be pushed. Today, they gave up. All they do today is to continue to live in their own illusion. Some of them will come and tell you that sit at home has ended. They went up to the extent of getting to write a letter and say Mazen Nandekan wrote, and shamelessly for the Zoological Republic, very shameful for their media, a media that cannot make investigation. Nigerian media is the worst media I have seen all over the world. There is no single investigative journalist in that zoo, not even one. Go to their media. They can't go underground and investigate an issue and bring it out. All they do is to print a carbon copy of what Asorok gave them to say. That is what they say to you. That is why today you go to all their media stations. Even when they know that Biafra land is locked down, they will begin to tell you that sit at home has ended. The government will use them to deceive people to come out and expose their life to be used as a blackmail against IPOB of Mazen Nandekan. They push lie, and they first of all told out the Mazen Nandekan stop the sit at home. They push the lie and make people believe that Mazen Nandekan stop the sit at home. Mazen Nandekan stop the sit at home. Where? When? How? And by the way, did Mazen Nandekan put the sit at home? Mazen Nandekan never called for sit at home at any time. Why are they always dragging Mazen Nandekan into issues and decisions of the Biafran people? Have you asked yourself, why is it that at every given point in time, they will drag Mazen Nandekan into the issue of it, even when our Prime Minister of Biafra, Mazen Samanaka, has said it time and time again, that we are responsible for every action that we take today in order to free Mazen Nandekan. Mazen Nandekan is not responsible for the actions we take to free him. Mazen Nandekan doesn't give order to us. We don't take order from Mazen Nandekan. We do what we feel is the right thing to do to make sure he regains his freedom. But every time you see them trying to attach Mazen Nandekan to what the Biafran people are doing, that Mazen Nandekan wrote a letter, even when they knew Mazen Nandekan had not written a letter, because Mazen Nandekan is not daft. While they were pushing those lies and cooking up all those lies, we were watching them. They were cooking up those lies until our Prime Minister got a direct information from Mazen Nandekan, and he said, stand your ground. I have no trust on the judiciary of the zoo. It is you, the Biafran people, that will set me free. Do everything you can. Continue on that path you're going. Stand firm, consistent, don't lose until that information came. And yet today they are denying it. They are denying that information. And if they think, you see, these people, they think they are dealing with daft. Have they asked themselves, the very lawyer that went and brought this forged letter, the very lawyer that presented the forged letter, where is he now? Where is he? After he's been bought over, this is a man who comes out 2 times in a week initially to give us update on Mazen Nandekan. This is a man who comes out 2 times in a week to give update on what Mazen Nandekan said. Visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Have you asked yourself, why is it that all of a sudden he has gone mute? Why is it that all of a sudden he has gone mute? He's no longer seeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. After he has come out to bring a letter and say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wrote a letter. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wrote a letter in his own handwriting and said, stop, sit at home. Lying from the pit of hell. Since after telling us lies, where is he today? Where is he today? Have you ever seen him say Umo Chineke or something? And all of a sudden, after his disappearance, you begin to see some forgotten people rearing their ugly head again. But Biafrans, we cannot be distracted or deceived. We cannot be distracted or deceived. It doesn't matter what anybody says or does. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. It doesn't matter where you lay your head or where you put your head. As for those of us who are genuine Biafrans, we don't need to wait for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to speak before we know what is in his heart. And one of the joy that you should have today, if you are a Biafran, one of the joy you should have, and one of the confidence is that the man today that is piloting the affair of people is a man who is spiritually connected to the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When he tells you he is his spiritual son, it is not just by saying it in mouth. It is the reality. And we have seen facts that leads to that. Even before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have confessed of the fact that our Prime Minister, Mazi Samana, can go to his heart and get a message and preach. Every one of us saw in one of the meetings he attended with Mazi Samana, before he could open his mouth, Mazi Samana has spoken every single thing he has in his mind to say. And when he wanted to speak, he said, you have said it all. That is how connected they are. That is how spiritually connected they are. And somebody will come and tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said or did not say, or wrote or did not wrote. Right. We know who we are following. The sheep knows their shepherd. When he speaks, we hear him. You don't need to preach to us or tell us or define it for us. No, no. Once we hear the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, without any preaching, we will know that, yes, this is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaking. The supreme leader of IPOB, the man who has given it up. And he said, it's either Biafra or death. That he will continue to fight Biafra. It's either he gets Biafra or he dies in the process. He has been in incarceration for more than 2 years now. And yet, they refuse to release him, even when they have nothing against him. There's no charges against him. No charges whatsoever against him. He has won his case hands down. And even the court say, do not try him anywhere in that zoo. You don't have the jurisdiction to try him. Let him go. Take him back to wherever you brought him from. This is an order of the court. But up to this moment, they have refused to obey the order that comes from their own court, from the law they made by themselves. They continue to live in their illusion that by disobeying the law, you break down the Biafrans, you break down Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Biafra will become history. You have made the greatest mistake in your life, just as our Prime Minister said. From the moment you kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you open the gate of Biafra wider. From the moment you took Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you open the gate of Biafra wider. And that is why I tell my fellow Biafrans that all things works for good to them that love Chukwu Okike. As long as you love Chukwu Okike and you are standing on the truth. As long as standing on the truth, everything will work for your own good. Including those things that were intended to destroy you. It will make you strong. All positive things are not positive. And all negative things are not negative. It is not everything that you see today that looks like negative things are negative. So many events that happen to your life, that happen in Biafra struggle today, even when you see it as negative, they are not negative. So many things that happen, when you see them, you think they are positive. When you look at it deep, you see that they are not positive. Chukwu Okikabia is in charge. He decides and he determines what happens and what doesn't happen. That is why you see how they have lost the battle. And for the fact that they know they have lost the battle, you see them what they are doing. Today, what you see in their media is total and absolute propaganda. Day in, day out. They bring in clowns from all different walks of life to come and speak foul in their TV stations. They will come and preach and tell you how the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Zamasi Samanepa is destroying Biafra land. They will tell you how violent he is. They will tell you how disobedient he is. But they wouldn't tell you what he's asking for. And they wouldn't tell you what he has done different from what Mazen Nandekano did while he was around. Our Prime Minister, Mazen Samanepa, is doing exactly what Mazen Nandekano would have done if he's with us. Mazen Nandekano even did worse. Mazen Nandekano spoke a lot. But today, the only difference today is that we are in action time. Mazen Nandekano speaks about issue and he gives you time to key in before he will act. Mazen Nandekano gives a very long time before he will react. But in the era that we are today, because Biafra is very, very close at the doorstep, we don't have time to spend with anybody. The only good thing we can do for you is to tell you the truth. It's left for you to either to take it or you leave it. If you take it, it is for your own good. If you leave it, all the same, we have nothing to lose. Everything we work for our own good as Biafrans. Everything we continue to work for our own good. Take it or leave it. Today, against all their propaganda and blackmail, against all what they are saying today, Biafra land is under lock and key. Total lockdown in Biafra land. You see, if they don't learn a lesson from sit at home, they will never learn again. Sit at home has become a thorn on their flesh. Sit at home has become the end of the zoo. That is why some of them will come and blackmail you and tell you, will sit at home give you freedom? Sit at home has given us freedom. They will say, see, we start from Mazen Nandekano. Sit at home has freed Mazen Nandekano. Everyone that is speaking against it at home is an evil person. That is one of the ways to identify those who are against Mazen Nandekano. One of those who are against the freedom of the people. When you see any platform or any man that opens his mouth and speak against sit at home, run away from them. They don't mean well for you. They don't mean well. Sit at home that even the blind and the blind and the deaf can see. And they know that it is doing a marvelous work. They don't want to embrace it. They tarnish the they fight. Looking at the way they are fighting it alone, looking at the way they are fighting sit at home, that has to tell you that there is something in that sit at home. With the way they talk about it, preach about it, and fight it, you will know that there is something valuable in that sit at home that is making them go to that direction. You should know that. But instead, they make you turn your eyes away from the reality of things. They make you begin to believe falsehood. They make you feel as if you are not having any impact so that you can go to hands down. Fellow Biafran that are watching, we are making moves, and I can tell you, the zoo is coming to an end. You can't help it. The zoo is coming. Even the British know very well. They know. They know very well. What you see happening in the Niger today is a child's play. It is going to come to the zoo. The revolution you see that is happening in Niger today is going to happen in the zoo. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter whether you support it or not. It doesn't matter whether you prepare or you are not prepared. It is going to happen. A revolution that will change the status quo. Nigeria have expired for good, and the whole world have known it. That is why today they are being rejected. In any place where they make application, they are rejected. Today they are on their own. Our prime minister said they will explain tire. Our prime minister say they will explain tire, and actually they will explain and they get tired. They will explain tire. Every single one of us, wherever you are today, I urge you to stand firm. You see this seat at home? It is a very strong weapon in the hand of the Biafran people. It is a very strong weapon. My brother that is writing, ESN is not doing any recruitment. The ESN is not doing any recruitment. Do not fall into the hand of the evil ones. If anybody tells you that ESN is doing a recruitment, that is a blatant lie. ESN is not making any recruitment. When there's a recruitment, you are going to hear it from our Prime Minister. You're going to see it on his platform, and you're going to see it in the platform of every Biafra Republican Israel. So, when you're asking about the form for ESN, there's nothing of such. There's nothing of such now. There's nothing like ESN form now. No? There's nothing like that. There's nothing like ESN form. We are now managing the people that we have. The Biafran Liberation Army have more than enough foot soldiers. The ESN have more than enough foot soldiers. When there is need to make recruitment, it will be announced. For now, there's no recruitment anywhere. Thank you. So as I was saying, every one of us, wherever you are, you must remain consistent. Solonyo Mozo, follow who no road. We are lucky that today, the man that is piloting the affair of Biafra knows the road. He knows what he wants. He knows how to get what he wants. It is not enough to just answer Prime Minister. It is not enough to say you have a government, but the effect of that government is what you have to look upon. The Biafra Republican government in Israel is winning diplomatic wars on different angles. And you can see them manifest before your own very eyes. Or you want me to explain? The Biafra Republican government in Israel is winning the war diplomatically. We are dealing with the zoo, right, left, and center. And they will never survive this. They will not. Today, the only option that is in the table of that zoo, and the world have seen it, is disintegration of the zoo. That is the only solution. The more the zoo remains together, the more Africa remains enslaved. And every African that genuinely, every African that genuinely wants freedom, you must continue to pray. You must continue to pray for Biafran people to succeed. It is not enough to say that Africa needs to be liberated. It is not enough to begin to make noise and campaign for Africa. You must first of all look inwards. Those people that the colonial master is using to manipulate Africa, one of the greatest manipulators of Africa is Nigeria. One of the greatest manipulators of Africa is the Nigeria, and the people that are in charge is the British. Today you are crying of the day. You see the Niger issue. What is happening in Niger today that has made people to revolt is happening in that Zoological Republic. It's happening, and it's happening daily. But the people are so docile that they pretend not to see it. They pretend not to see it. What is happening today in Niger is exactly what is happening in the Zoological Republic, even more. The case of Zoological Republic is even worse than Niger. But look at Niger people rising up against France to take over their land. The Niger people want to take over their land. But what do you see? What we see is the Zoological Republic, people that do not have democracy, going to say they want to force democracy. And I ask them, what is democracy that you are putting there? These people are so criminally minded that when they paint this word, when they use this word, you think you are talking to human being. You don't know you are talking to beast. They will preach democracy. Who are those who are talking about bringing democracy to Africa? Who are you? Do you have democracy? Or what version of democracy are you talking about? What version? They come and they tell us that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That is the meaning they gave us, that's the meaning of democracy. The government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And where this very democracy originated is from Biafra land, Igbo land to be precise. That is why you say they begin to tell you that Igbos don't have king. We have king when the one makes itself available. But we don't follow sheepishly. The Igbo Biafrans don't follow sheepishly. They ask questions. They verify. You don't just walk out from anywhere and tell them what they believe. And every one of them has the right to speak. You don't shut somebody down in Igbo land. Everybody has the right, equal right to speak and make their opinion. And if they don't agree, they tell you they don't agree with you. Unlike the Almajiri system, where everybody will say yes. We don't operate the same level with them. So I asked them, when they talk about democracy, what is that? What version of democracy are they bringing to Africa? They told us it's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And you look and you are seeing in broad daylight that the people of the J, you are seeing in the people of the J, they say that we do not want this president that is loyal to France anymore. We don't want anything to do with France again, the colonial masters. We support our military to put a status quo, to put a law that's going to guide us, to put a new law that's going to guide us. You saw the solidarity of the people of the J, the people who are the Democrats themselves. The people, you saw them in good numbers. You saw them in the stadium. After the stadium, they went to the street and began to go after every criminal politician by themselves, not even the military. And after seeing all this effect, that the people want a change, there you are. Instead of you supporting the people, to have the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, you are supporting an individual. To have a government of an individual, for an individual, and by an individual. And you turn around and tell us that you want to put democracy. And look at whom they are using. The most undemocratic country is a country speaking about democracy. And where you will know that the evil of the West in Africa, they don't want to leave Africa alone, is the manipulation, the way they manipulate every organization in Africa. Just like Mazen Nanekano said, that every organization you see in Biafra land is being sponsored, owned by the caliphate, including Hades and Dibu. What you see, the manipulation the British is doing in Biafra land, they are doing the same thing. They choose your governor. They choose your local government chairman. They choose your traditional rulers. The same way they have established institutions in Africa to manipulate you. Today, is it not clear today that ECOWAS is an instrument in the hand of the colonial masters? Is it not clear today that ECOWAS is only there to promote the agenda of the colonial masters? That is why every time they get a sponsorship from these colonial masters who has nothing to offer than debt. What else haven't you seen? They build organizations, including OAU. OAU is under the manipulation of the West. That was why they took away Muammar Gaddafi when Gaddafi was trying to give the original AU to Africa. When Muammar Gaddafi was trying to make Africa have a voice and have a decision of their own, they took him out. Using his own people. They manipulated his own people. But I thank you that Africans are waking up. A good number of Africans are waking up. And such manipulation cannot succeed. And I tell you, the message of the Biafran people is resonating around the world. The message of the Biafran people is resonating around the world, whether you like it or not. If Africa must get it right, Biafra must go. And I thank you, that we are right on point. We are quite on point at the right time. As Biafra regains their independence, Africa will have a free breath, a breath of freedom. One of the greatest clutches to Africa is Nigeria. One of the greatest slavery of Africa is Nigeria. A place where you took people of diverse ideology and force them together. The destructive diversity in Nigeria is such one that will make sure that nobody grows and sees progress. It was intentionally made. Lord Lugard and co, they intentionally brought people who have different values together. People who don't have the same value, who don't take alike, who doesn't have anything in common, and brought them together because they know they will never agree. And while they are busy fighting among themselves, they will be busy exploiting them and manipulating them. They will choose one person and begin to sponsor it and make the person sound nice. That is the game they are playing and continue to play. And one of the manipulation of Africa is coming from Nigeria. The British. They are the greatest manipulator. That is why they came and built an empire. And they call it a country with the largest number of Africa. The most populated African country. And when they say it, you think there's something to gain. When they say it with pride and make the noise about it. The most populated African nation, Black African nation. And when they say it, you think there's an award they give to the most populated African nation. Is there any award you win by that? Is there any achievement you make through that? Have you ever been able to receive any upliftment because you are the most populated? The most populated Black African nation, and yet they cannot even feed themselves. The most populated African nation, they cannot secure themselves. The most populated African country, they cannot manage their resources. Can you mention one advantage of being the most populated African country? Can you mention one advantage? One, just one. Can you mention one advantage of being the most populated African nation? But you see the West, they begin to, when they talk about these times, you would think there is a gain in it. When they announce it in their social media, when some of them speak about it with pride and lifting their, you'll be thinking that there is gain in it. Ask them, what do you gain in being the most populated African nation on the planet Earth? What do you gain by that? The only thing you gain is insecurity, bad economy, debt, starvation. That is the only thing you gain. These are the only things you gain for being the most populated African nation. Insecurity, insurgency, bad economy, hunger. Name it. Is there anything positive that you gain from having the most populated nation? Your economy is dead and dead for good. Nothing to write home about. And yet, there you are, forcing yourself to be in a cage that you have been placed. Every indigenous person in that contraption called Nigeria should be praying for Biafra to go. If you have senses, if you are mentally sound, and you want to be free, your major prayer should be that Biafra should succeed and get out of the zoo. Because the freedom of the Biafra will be so infectious that it will affect every indigenous person. Once Biafra have a free breath of life, every one of them will see life. But as long as they continue to hold Biafra down, darkness will cover the zoo. It is not a curse, it is reality. As long as they continue to hold Biafra down, they do not want Biafra to succeed. They don't want Biafra to go forward. darkness will cover the zoo. Darkness will cover Nigeria. It will be darker than you cannot imagine. In case you don't know, if you don't believe what I'm telling you, just put your head down, take a step backward and think, from independent to date, have there ever been any new government that became better than the past? Ask yourself why. Have there ever been any new government that came on board and they became better than the past one? Have you ever heard of such? You cannot hear of such because the company called Nigeria was not programmed to make you succeed. It was not programmed to make you progress. The company called Nigeria was programmed to make you remain in need, remain a beggar, make you remain submissive to your slave master. That is their master plan they put in place, and they have continued to push that plan. The earlier you wake up, the better for you. Biafrans have done a lot. Our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekan, have done a lot to sensitize every indigenous person in that zone. There's nothing you can say today that you say you don't know. There's nothing that you cannot tell us today that you have been taken unaware. I thank Chukwu Okike that I'm a Biafran. For Biafrans, we are well prepared to go home. Every other indigenous tribe should be doing their homework by now. If you have not started, sorry. Every indigenous tribe, the Ududua people, the Middle Belt, the Arewa, everybody should be on their own now, making plans on how to build a nation of their own. If you have not started, sorry, you've been left behind. The Biafran people are going out. They are going to accomplish the mission which Chukwuka sent them to liberate every indigenous person. And the British is going to leave Nigeria, whether they like it or not. You see the way France is crying today. The British is going to shed tears. You remember Mazen Nandekan warned them in one of his broadcasts. He warned them. Mazen Nandekan warned the British that if they do not stop meddling in the affair of the Zoological Republic, if they do not stop meddling in the affair of the Biafran people, that they will be destroyed absolutely, totally. Mazen Nandekan made that prayer and he told them. And in that prayer, Mazen Nandekan, you know that they are proud people. They will say, who is this black man talking? Their pride will make them not to listen. But that was a promise made for them. And Chukwu Okike is making that come to fruition. For the fact, if they continue to meddle in the affair of the Biafran people and they continue to hold Biafra down, Britain will be destroyed completely. Absolutely. And today, you see how the destruction is coming. Both to the British and the Americans. Because they have rejected the truth. Because the British and the Americans have rejected the truth. And they are supporting evil against their own, supposedly their own. These are the people who claim to be Christians. These are the people who claim to be Christians. Majority of them claim to be Christians. But yet, they are supporting evil against their own brother. Every program they are making, agenda they're making, is when there is something that has to do with the other religion, they come out. But when it has to do with their own fellow Christians, they don't turn up. The West have become so evil that they do not want to anybody that is right to move forward. That is why you see the way they blackmail, what do you call him? Donald Trump. Do you see the way they are blackmailing Donald Trump in the US? They have used their media to push all manner of lie and blackmail against Donald Trump to stop him. Because he is not among the criminals. Because he has a different mindset. Because he speaks the truth. He will tell you exactly what you need to know. He doesn't try to be politically correct about issues. He sees issues, he addresses and tells you. Donald Trump was the person that looked the black people at their face, looked at us face to face and told us to go and repair our home, that our place is shithole. That is absolute truth. Why are you angry? Why are you angry that you are called a shithole? You are a shithole. That's a pure truth. Why does he have to paint word for you? And when he told you to go back home and repair your own nation, make your nation what it's supposed to be, you got angry. He was a man who is ready to give you support to grow and stand on your own feet. Look at how they are blackmailing him today. Pushing all manner of lies in their media. And now see their Joe Biden that they put there. Joe Biden is just the same thing as Buhari. You see how US has now become. And because of the evil heart they have, Chukwuokem have raised a new world order. Are you not seeing it? Are you not seeing the new world order that is coming up? It is not man-made. That is the mission of God. Chukwuokem made it. The new world order is coming today, and they are going to take over. They are already taking over. They are already taking over. And power and strength will return to Africa. As many as can be able to wake up on time. That is why Biafrans are on time. We cannot walk into the BRICS with the Zoological Republic. We can't. We are going to join the new world order as Biafrans. That is why our Biafra Republic of Israel is today making diplomatic moves to make things happen. That is why the de facto government in the homeland have been activated fully, and we are regaining our lands inch by inch, block by block, village by village, local government by local government, street by street, state by state, and we are going to recover every inch of our land very, very soon. Our Prime Minister have announced it, and there is no going back. The announcement was made by our Prime Minister. That order has been given 5 days from yesterday for the zoological military to leave and vacate our land. And if you are in Biafra land and you are still serving him, if you are serving the zoo in Biafra land, no matter whatever post, under whichever these guys, you are serving the zoo in Biafra land. After 5 days, and you still remain there, we are going to declare you as an enemy. And we're going to treat you the way we treat enemy, no matter who you are, no matter your religion. 5 days they've been given to vacate. The Biafra Republic of Israel, the de facto government in the homeland are taking over. You can take us for a joke, as usual. You can play about it. You can take it serious. Does it change anything? It doesn't change anything. We are moving ahead. Restoration is where we are headed. Biafra must be restored, whether you like it or not. And we are not taking permission from anybody. We are not begging. We are not taking. It is our responsibility. It is our right for us to have our own nation. And that right, we are not going to gamble with it. We won't gamble with it. That's why I thank Chukwuokem, who gave us Mazi Simon right on time. I thank Chukwuokem, who gave Mazi Nnamdi that inspiration and showed him the new dimension. And Mazi Nnamdi embraced the new dimension and announced it. He didn't hold it back. If it were some idiots and criminals that are parading around themselves today, that revelation would have been hidden. If that revelation was given to some idiots today that are parading themselves as members of IPOB, if they were the ones that Chukwuokem gave that revelation of the new dimension, they would have seated on it. They would sat on it and make sure that it doesn't come up. But Mazi Nnamdi saw the new dimension and he announced it. He supported it. And today, the new dimension is in charge. The Biafra Republic of in Exile is in charge. And if you don't want to know, if you want to know if they are in charge or not, go to Biafra land today. If you want to know who is in charge, go to Biafra land today and you will see a total lockdown in Biafra land. People are observing the instruction which was passed by Biafra Republic Government through our Prime Minister Mazi Simon. He is a new command. We don't have any two command. We are not waiting for any command anywhere. The spokesperson and Prime Minister of Biafra Republic, the Master Samaneka, has the final say today. The Biafra Republic in exile today are the voice of the people making diplomatic moves, speaking on our behalf. Today we speak as a government, not as an individual. Those of you who think we are still backward, we are no longer an organization. Biafra government in exile is in charge. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic in exile is not a joke. It's a serious business. In case you don't know. And if you're a Biafra, you don't know, I am sorry. Our enemies knows that it's not a joke. That is why today, in all of their media, in all media, all the conventional media in Nigeria, our Prime Minister is their discussion. They bring all manner of manipulation, all manner of lie and useless grammars and things. You cannot confuse the Biafran people. We know whom we are. We know whom we are following. We know the directives of Chukwu Kama. We know. There's nothing you can tell us to convince us. All your manipulation is a waste of time. I don't know why it is hard for them to understand it. Later on, you will see them in the media, they will say, oh, sit at home did not hold. Even when we have videos, I thank Chukwu Okeke for the social media. I thank Chukwu Okeke for the, if not for the social media, you would think that nothing is happening. If not for the social media, people begin to believe them. But because we have the social media, we will bring you details. You will see people mentioning dates and places, how places have been locked down. Police stations observe the sit at home. Government offices observe the sit at home. Filling stations observe the sit at home. Everybody engage in the sit at home observation. If you want to know who is in charge, go to Biafra land today. Then you'll find out. But they will continue to live in their own illusions. They will continue to live in their own denials. They will continue to live in their own confusion. They will continue to live in their own dream, telling you that they are in charge. Our Prime Minister has said it. Every one of you that is still serving in the do, 5 days from yesterday, 5 days, is either you resign or you step away, move away from Biafra land, go and serve them over there. Go to the territory of Nigeria and serve them over there, not in Biafra land. The Biafran de facto government in exile, they are taking over. We don't need your permission. We don't need permission from anybody. Time has gone when we complain and cry and cry and cry. Time has gone when we come and protest and protest and protest and they shoot us. Time has gone when we write petitions to different organizations. Time has gone when we have complained and complained and complained. Nobody seems to listen. We are in an era where we take our fate in our own hand. We're in the era where we take decisions on what happens and how it happens. We are no longer in that time where we cry and complain. There's no more tears. Our tears have dried up. The Biafran people, we have cried and our tears have dried up. We can't cry anymore. Our petition have written to the four corners of the world. There's no other place to write. Our protests have been heard. Even by the Spirit, there's no other place to protest. What is remaining today is putting our words to action. And that is what our Prime Minister of Biafra, has come to do. And he said it loud and clear, that I have come to finish what our eternal leader, Dim Ojimogojuku, started. He said he's going to finish it. And he didn't just say it yesterday. Remember when he joined IPOB, he said, I will not be in IPOB for 5 years without anything happening. It's not possible. That he cannot fight for Biafra, complete 5 years and nothing happens. And he went further to say that instead of him not to make Biafra a reality, he will turn to a beast. And he said, if it will take a handshake with the devil to get Biafra, he will go that length. That is the word of a man that is determined. You that is watching me, what is your own decision? Are you ready to move? You that is watching me, Once it's your own decision, are you ready to key in? Are you ready to join the move, or you are still waiting? What are you waiting for? You are still living in confusion. You are still waiting and looking in confusion. Don't be confused. Pick up a responsibility now, not tomorrow. Now, as you are watching me, as you are watching the video, pick up a if you have not picked anyone, pick up a responsibility. That is something that every one of us can do. There is something everyone pick up a responsibility as you are watching me now. Biafra needs you. Biafra needs you. But if you decide not to come on board, people are going to take your place. That is the absolute truth. Even if every one of us refuse to do what you're supposed to do, we still do it. If Chukwukabiyama can send information through an animal, a horse, can speak through fire, why won't he speak through human being? Of course he will. There is a responsibility on the ground. The Biafra Republic needs support. Support Biafra Republic any way you can. Support the ESN. The fundraising, the contact is there on how to raise funds. If you are blessed, don't wait until you are being begged. Do not wait until the day of fundraising. The link is there. Go to the link and make your donation, giving your widow's mite. It will go a long way, and it will register your name in the book of life. By you picking up a responsibility to make Biafra a reality, you have already cancelled your name in the book of death. The angel of death will never visit you. In case you don't know. But when you continue to deny Biafra, you are exposing yourself to death. You are breaking up your defense. The only thing that can make you build your defense spiritually and physically is for you to make contribution in this very struggle. Make sure you are making a contribution. If you don't have money, you have your mouth to speak. You can evangelize. You can pray. There is one thing or the other that you can be able to do to make sure your name is registered in this struggle fully. You don't sit on the fence. Time have gone when people sit. There is no sitting on the fence. You must be in the forefront fighting. Every one of us have a role to play. A child, a mother, a father, a sister, old and young. Every one of us have a role to play. And you must begin to play that role now. We have been saying for a very long time, Biafra is a spirit. Biafra is a spirit. The time has come. The time has come for us to pick up our identity. That is the way, the greatest way to build your defense and be whom you have to be. The greatest way for you to escape the angel of death is for you to claim whom you are as a Biafran. That mark will be on your forehead, and when the angel of death see you, they will pass over. But if you reject Biafra, you're rejecting your life. If you reject Biafra, you expose yourself to danger. If you reject Biafra, you have broken every defense that you have. And they can take you down at any time. We are no longer an organization. Biafra today, we have a government and we are going home in a speed. I think on September, next month, 15th, the inauguration of our administrative office in the United States will be done. The inauguration in the United States of our administrative office will be done in 15th of September. And everybody that is in the United States should be there. If you are in the US, you should be there to partake and see what is happening in our administrative office in the United States. The address is there in all our platforms. In that very office, a lot of black men have come in the past. Some who were driven by greed, envy, jealousy. Some who were being driven by the devil. We are there, blackmailing that very office before. Attacking Master Simon Ever for good work that he was doing. But all of them, today, all of them have disappeared. I wonder how they are going to bury their head in shame now. But how can you shame the shameless? So most of them are shameless, very shameless people. If not, I just imagine how can those people, elderly men, some claim to be pastors, and they came out, they were attacking Master Simon and telling lies. something that they saw that was the truth. They were telling lies, trying to turn it upside down. And you see how we won that battle. Hands down. Today, they disappeared. Next month, 15, that office will be opened. The inauguration will be done. And I hope they will be there to see things for themselves. Another one is our referendum convention on the 30th of October. We are not sleeping. We are not playing. Biafra, Republic of Government in Exile, is working 247 to make Biafra a reality in 2023. 2023 is going to come. So our self-referendum in Finland on the 30th of October, if you have not registered, run, go and register. If you can be able to attend, make sure you are there. More especially people in Europe. Finland is a Schengen country. Those of you who are living in a Schengen country, it will be easier for you. Make your registration. Go there in presence. Ask your question. Make your contribution. It matters a lot. The Biafra you see today is not the Biafra you were seeing yesterday. The generation of people you are seeing today are not the people you saw yesterday. When we talk about the reality of Biafra, we are now living in reality. What you see is what you get. As if they play, it is show. It's not by talking or hiding on the keyboard and say, oh, you're a spokesperson, or you call yourself a more powerless or whatever. It is not about that. As they play, it is show. We do the work on the ground and bring it for you to see. Our primate, go and follow. If you're not following Master on Twitter, you are missing a lot. If you are not following him, you are missing a lot. Go and follow him on Twitter so that you'll be updated. Every single statement you hear from us is a reality. What you see is what you get. We don't paint words. We don't make you happy. We don't tell you what to be happy. We tell you exactly what it is. So, if you're in Europe, prepare to join that convention on 30th of October. Referendum convention, that is what it is. It is not a referendum. It is a referendum convention. A place where people come and discuss about referendum and teach us about referendum and tell us the implications and the gains and losses in referendum and ways to conduct it. Other international communities are going to be there. Other international guests are going to be there from different countries are going to be there. So be there. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon, will be there in person. That's an opportunity for you to meet him and see him face to face too. If you're in Europe, more especially, be there. If you have not registered, run now, go and register. Do not find yourself wanted. My fellow Biafrans, those who are watching in Biafra land, I appreciate every one of you. As usual, you are always making us proud. I have no doubt about the formidability of our Biafrans in Biafra land. They are very, very formidable. Against all blackmail, against all lies and propaganda, they are standing firm. Gidibam. Every Monday, Biafra land is locked down. And today, it is locked down completely today. It will continue until we walk home. I know it is not easy. I can't come here and tell you that it's easy. It is not easy. We understand the plight of our people in Biafra land. We know what they're going through. It is not easy. The challenges are enormous. But does it worth it? It worth it. It's about our freedom. It is the right thing to do. Tighten up your belt. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Just have that in your mind. Look at where you're going. That should be your strength and your confidence. There is light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the day, you'll be glad you did what you are doing today. I appreciate every one of you that have joined on this broadcast. If you are joining from Biafra land, my special thanks go to you, and Chukwu Okike Abiyama will protect you. No evil shall befall you. Every Biafran that are watching across the world, I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will guide and protect every one of us. Guide and protect us and our friends and our relatives and those who are supporting the Biafra movement. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect our ESN, guide and protect the Biafran Liberation Army, guide and protect the BNL, guide and protect every force that is genuinely fighting for Biafra on the ground. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect you. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect all our media warriors and their families. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect all the members of Umuada and their families. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect every member of the cabinet of Biafra Program. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect you and secure you. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, wherever he is. We commit him in the hand of Chukwu Okike Abiyama for divine protection. For divine protection, for divine strength, for divine wisdom. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to unleash legions of angels to guide him in his going out and his coming in. He will never dash his foot against a stone. Every hole they dug for him, they will fall into it. Whatever pit they have dug for him, they will be buried in that pit. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Prime Minister. Give him more mental toughness, wisdom of 10,000 men. The wisdom to take the right decision and on time. Continue to give unto him as he's doing. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our supreme leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu wherever he is. We commit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the hand of Chukwu Okike for divine healing, for divine strength. Every troubles, every illness in his body be healed. May Chukwu Okike Abiama release doctors to continue to minister to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu on daily basis. He shall regain his strength. Whatever they poison him with will never have effect. Whatever attack that comes to him will never succeed. May Chukwu Okike Abiama, most importantly, give him revelations. Give him revelations. Heavy revelations. Let his eye be open. Let him see how we are walking along with him. We know they are feeding him with major lies and trying to break him down. But I believe that Chukwu Okike Abiama can open his eyes and let him see how connected we are to him. That his spiritual son, Master Simon Ekpa, is leading a heavy war against the enemy. That we are on track. We are consistency personified, just as he said. I believe that is going to strengthen him and give him more power and energy. May Chukwu Okike Abiama give him that revelation. Thank you so much for watching. No weapon formed or fashioned against the Biafran people shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're watching from, and stay blessed. I will see you again in the evening. If you have time, you can join me in King David Exploit Expose. That is where I do my evening broadcast. Chooks for Survival. I'm no longer broadcasting on King David. Join me on Chooks for Survival page. I will be broadcasting on Chooks for Survival page in the evening. So if you have time in the evening, you can join us, or just go and check it up. Chooks for Survival. Chooks for Survival. Just check it up on Facebook, the page, Chooks for Survival. That is where I broadcast in the evening. You can join us there for evening broadcast. We have more to say, more secrets to come out. So please try to join us there if you can. Thank you so much, and see you again. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.